Welcome to EYE on Sci-Fi podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 205 of EYE on Sci-Fi podcast, the podcast where we share with you terrific indie science fiction, fantasy, and other genre short films, web series, and other closely related media. We also on occasion have conversations with the talented and fascinating creators who are producing outstanding indie speculative work. Thank you for joining me. You know, CGI has been both a boon and a bane to the filmmaking business. And that is because, on the positive side, filmmakers are able to realize more of their visions on screen. But the opposite side of that coin is that for we, the viewing audience, we can almost always tell when CGI is used in a film, and sometimes it makes the film seem not as real as it should be or could be. There is an animated film, though, using CGI made by the Unreal Engine that is probably going to be groundbreaking in terms of its hyper-realism. And that short film is called FLITE. And FLITE is the directorial debut and writing debut of Oscar-winning visual effects supervisor Tim Weber. Now, Weber has worked on notable films such as Gravity and The Dark Knight, but he makes, again, his writing and directorial debut with FLITE. And let me just read what the film synopsis is. Set in a semi-submerged London of 2053, the action-packed film explores the nascent and underground practice of memory visualization. Stevie, the reigning world hoverboard champion, imprisoned in a luxury high-rise apartment by her controlling manager, is helped by the kindness of a courageous stranger and sets out on a daring and ingenious attempt at escape. All doesn't go quite to plan. Let me just say that when you are watching this short film, you really will think at times that you are seeing actors in live action. The CGI is just that good. And it's shot from a first-person perspective, and those of you who play first-person shooters, you will be familiar with this perspective. Let me tell you, when Stevie breaks free out of that high-rise, she goes on a daring and high-octane chase through a half-drowned London, and it is almost as if you are with her on this chase. She goes over and under bridges and through crowded freeways. It's phenomenal, and it really will give you an adrenaline rush. FLITE is really quite the achievement. And I have to give my hats off to Tim Weber and his entire production team because, again, the CGI, well, to say that it's hyper real is an understatement, folks. The actors look, again, as if they are actually there on the screen instead of them being rendered in CGI via the Unreal Engine. Again, this is fantastic, and it is a dazzling watch from beginning to end. So, of course, I'm going to put a link to where you can watch FLITE in the show notes of this episode so that you can enjoy this. But let me just say that FLITE really is an exciting viewing experience. And if CGI is headed in the direction that this film seems to be predicting, I think that we're going to be in for some very extraordinary filmmaking. So that's it for this episode, everyone. Thank you again for listening. And also, while you are visiting the show notes of this episode, make sure to check out our link tree. And with our link tree, you will be able to explore all of the other curated science fiction and fantasy short films and web series that we have over at our home site, the7thmatrix.com. You will also be able to find out how you can help us keep the lights on here at EYE on Sci-Fi Podcast. because without the kind and generous support of listeners and viewers like you, we would not be able to do the work that we do. I also need to ask you to sign up for our brand new newsletter. Ion Sci-Fi newsletter is not like your typical newsletter. I call it a micro newsletter. And what I mean by that is that Monday through Friday, we will send you one speculative gem. Now, it can be a television show, book, or film recommendation, an essay that we think that you will find interesting, a podcast episode, either ours or other genre-related podcasts that we enjoy, and more. It is a free newsletter, and for signing up and becoming a subscriber, you will receive a free gift from us. So I hope that you do sign up for the newsletter and join us on this new sci-fi fantasy journey. All right. So again, thanks everyone for joining me. And until next time, remember to please take a break, escape the mundane, and enter the fantastic. Take care.